commissioner meetings. I attend a lot of public meetings in Lake County, and I take my little camcorder and I record it. Because I think it is important that the people know they can't make all of the meetings, even though some of them may be live streamed. We try to condense it for them. The reason for Lobbyists for Citizens is in trying to educate myself on property taxes, I contacted the state. I wanted to find out what House Bill 920 and the 20 mil floor, what that was all about. So I developed a friendship with the state people down there, and they're very nice. And they said, Brian, you wouldn't believe how many lobbyists we have down here in the state. Everybody's got a lobbyist. The only one that doesn't have a lobbyist are the citizens. So I said, that sounds like a good name. So we are here for you, all the people in Lake County and all of the people in all 88 counties. We're trying to educate. One thing that I came up with was a housing affordability threshold. You need to know before you automatically vote for a levy, whether it's a renewal or brand new levy, the housing affordability threshold is your indicator to determine whether or not you can afford that tax levy. Simple calculation. I didn't make it up. This has been going on since the late 1800s. In the late 1800s, a man recognized that he couldn't pay any more than 1 week's wages for 1 month's living expenses, so basically 25%. The federal government raised it to 30% through HUD. So if you add your property taxes, your utilities, and your mortgage, if those three factors equal 30% of your annual income, that house is deemed unaffordable for you. That doesn't mean you have to move, but it definitely tells you that you will have less money for your needs and wants. And with this 30% inflation, you may not be able to put food on the table. And I'm very serious about that. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic with the words. It's getting that serious. I told the commissioners, I even went down, and Leonard and I went down to the state, and we spoke before a committee on property taxes review and reform. We've been there twice. The first time I told them, if we stay on this path of ever increasing property taxes, we're going to price seniors and those living on fixed income out of their homes. There's no question about it. And this was before a 30% increase in the value of properties. And they're all nodding their heads, and yes. We went down a couple months ago to the same committee, and here's what they did. I started to tell them that in Lake County, the Willoughby East Lake School District will make $8 million in additional revenue without a vote of the taxpayers. I was also going to start to tell them that I believe that the 20 mil floor is unconstitutional. Well, do you know what they did? They censored my speech. We didn't know this until we were driving home, and somebody said, well, Brian, what happened when you were talking? All of a sudden they played classical music over what you were saying. And then when I got home and I looked at it, what they did is they dropped the classical music, they cut the video and audio. So I sent an email to Chairman Romer and to Dan Troy, Jerry Serino, and Jamie Callender, our two reps and the senator. I said, what gives? My freedom of speech was impacted by my representatives. They said nothing. I was expecting them to say, well, Brian, we're sorry that happened. Oh, the reason they gave me was, well, we had a computer glitch. Computer glitch. Neither Jamie Callender, Dan Troy, or Jerry Serino said, gee, we're sorry that happened, Mr. Massie. We'll read it into the record for you, or you can come back down next time we have a meeting and you can say, have your piece. What these gentlemen said is absolutely right. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. When I was talking to Representative, I'll tell you, I call them all out. What I say with Lobbyists for Citizens is that I'm trying to promote honesty, integrity, and transparency with our government officials. And how do I do that? By exposing the lies, the deceptions, and the betrayals. They hate me. absolutely hate them. But I've gotten to the point, I said, I don't care. I don't care what they say. I try to remain friends with them, but if they do good, we applaud them. But on our website, Lobbyists for Citizens, we're getting over 2,000 views a day, and we record a lot of videos. Our top video was on Mentor School Board, had over 28,000 views. So what is extremely important, ladies and gentlemen, and what was already mentioned here, I think it was David here said, you have to get involved. The idea of our representative government in our constitutional republic is an illusion. What the representatives and the senators are doing, they're not representing you, they're representing the donor class. Auditor's office. And we wanted to find out in Lake County, a gentleman by the name of Chris Galloway, and he does a good job. It's not Chris's fault, but he's part of the program where the auditor's office, and they have a budget of about $1 million a year in the office, but they do not actually do the revaluation of the property. That is a third-party vendor. And trying to get the details from the third-party vendor, how the calculations are obtained, or when they talk about comparable sales, and they do it by neighborhood, it's so convoluted.
It's proprietary information.
Yeah, that's the other statement. They said they can't give you the details because it's all proprietary. So what you have, ladies and gentlemen, is you have a third-party vendor that is controlling your destiny. Controlling your destiny. You ask. You basically, you can file, do you file public records requests? Do you know how to do that? It's a very simple process. We've done hundreds of them, literally, and you can ask for the contract between the Cuyahoga County Auditor and the third-party. The name is Vision. It started with another name that sort of escapes me right now, but that company was
Vision Government Services. I asked them how many counties they serve. Mm-hmm. They said 55 to 60. I requested a list of which 55 or 60 those are, meaning Cuyahoga could be one of them, may not be one of them. You got to find out.
Yeah,
so I could not get, the point is, I could not get them to send me, after I requested twice in writing, the 60 counties that they say they serve. So this tells you have a fundamental problem when you contract something out. All the sunshine laws are out the window.
In talking, what your representatives, what they will tell you, what they have told me, and we have also talked to several county auditors. And I complained about the property taxes pricing people out of their homes. And the comment that they made to me directly, if a senior cannot afford their home, they should sell their home and move into an apartment, because that will solve the housing shortage for the state of Ohio. I got my judge. That is their mindset.
Who actually said that?
I beg your pardon?
Who actually said that?
Jerry Serino told me that.
Jerry Serino.
But he's not the only one, though.
No, I understand.
That is a mindset of your state representatives. And I also have to, it's important that you know that we've looked into, I won't get into the detail of inside and outside millage, but schools. And there's about 50% of the 600 schools, so about 300 schools are what they call at the 20 mil floor. And what the 20 mil floor means that it's their outside millage is treated like inside millage. So as your property values go up, you don't have a vote on it. So 50% of the schools are going to continue to get more money from you every year without even having to go to the ballot. It is, now, what has happened, a deception, and this is very important. The Ohio Constitution Article 12, Section 2 talks about inside millage being maximum of 10 mils. However, there's a phrase in there that allows the legislators to override that, and they can write anything that they want, so that 10 mil is just really an illusion. And the same thing is written in the Ohio Revised Code, 5705-27, I believe it is. So, what I've come to realize as I pull back the curtain in all of this, we don't have a representative government. We don't. So, as Keith has said and others have said, going in there, by ourselves is not going to work. Even if we went with 50 people or so, we have to have thousands, because we have to have a short-term and medium-term and a long-term strategy. The long-term strategy, as far as Leonard and I are concerned, and also Roxanne back there, is a constitutional amendment. But that will require like 400 or 500,000 signatures to get a ballot, something on the ballot that will actually change the Constitution. Now, how do we want to change the Constitution? Ultimately, we want to see the elimination of property taxes altogether, because we believe that the property ownership is the foundation of our freedom and liberty. That is how families transfer wealth from one generation to the next. What they want to do, ladies and gentlemen, not only at the state level, but the federal level, they want to eliminate the middle class. Pure and simple. So what I would ask all of our legislators, do you really want a state made up of renters? Because you don't own your home right now. You may say, I usually ask the question, do you own your home? And people raise their hand. But we have to tell you, you're merely renters from the government. And if you doubt that, don't make 3 payments of your property taxes, and then you'll see who really owns your house. What we've also determined, I'll be right with you, Roxanne, what we've also determined on a short-term solution, the local property taxes, I did analysis, research of the CUP reports. The local property tax revenue for all of the schools in Ohio is about $10 billion. So we said to ourselves, and that makes up about 65%, 60 to 70%, but we use 65% of your property tax bill goes to the schools. So we said, if we could eliminate that 65%, what if we replaced it with a property tax? Or with a sales tax, I beg your pardon. So if we have, right now we've got 5.75 of a state tax. If we added 4.5, we think that's enough to generate that $10 billion. Would people buy that? It would have to be a state initiative. You couldn't have it county by county, because that would put an undue burden on the particular county, and their corporations would, and their businesses would suffer. But the property tax not only impacts the residential property, it's impacting our commercial property too. So when they start continuing to raise these taxes, those properties, the commercial properties, businesses are impacted severely also. And what they do is they pass those costs along to the consumer. So we're paying double. Go ahead, Roxanne.
Or leave.
I beg your pardon?
Or leave.
Or leave, yes. They can leave the state.
Sure, right. Lose jobs in Ohio.
Yeah, so there are 3 major taxes. You got the income tax, sales tax, and you got the property tax. What we have to do, and I ask these gentlemen, to do the homework, how much would it cost in an income tax to replace the school portion or all the property taxes? What we need to do is really wipe the slate clean. We can no longer just say, well, I'm going to raise the homestead exemption, a few dollars. That's really just working around the edges, and that won't solve the problem. This needs a major redo, but the legislators won't do it. They don't want to face the teachers union. They don't want to face them. because, why is that? I've had Ron Young, who was a commissioner and a representative. I got him on film, and he asked me to record him. He said the two top priorities of government is to protect itself and to grow. The two top priorities of any politician is to protect himself and get reelected. No mention of what is in the best interest of the taxpayers and citizens. And I find that abhorrent. I could keep going, ladies and gentlemen, but I better stop. Thank you.